Hello everyone, it's Jude and you're welcome to Smartwatch series. In this video, we're going to be comparing the Huawei Band 6 versus the Huawei Band 4 Pro. The Huawei Band 6 is the latest smartband from Huawei, and this succeeds the Huawei Band 4. Why the Huawei Band 4 Pro here succeeds the Huawei Band 3 Pro. So we're going to be going head to head between these two, which is a better smartband. This costs about $50, but this costs about $100. So we should get a $50 Huawei Band 6 or the $100 Huawei Band 4 Pro. Hopefully, after watching this video, you should be able to make that decision. All right. But before that, if you're new to this channel, if you've not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to also click on the notification bell next to it to always get updates from me whenever I upload a video like this. So guys, we're going to start with the design of these two smartbands. And starting with the design, this is the Band 4 Pro, and this has a stainless steel case, okay? And this is a silicone band. This is the Huawei Band 6, and this has a polymer case, okay? I like the way the body is kind of I like the finishing. The finishing looks kind of polished, and this band is made of silicone, okay? The good thing about the bands is that you can always swap these bands if you don't like them. Okay, still on the design, the Huawei Band 6 here weighs 18 grams and this weighs 25 grams. And when you talk about the dimension, the Huawei Band 6 is a little bit slightly slimmer than the Huawei Band 4 Pro. And when you talk about the available colors, the Huawei Band 6 is available in black, forest green, amber sunrise, and sakura pink. This is the sakura pink color. And as for the Band 4 Pro here, this one is available in graphite black, pink gold, and cinema red. This is the pink gold color. When you talk about the display, AMOLED powers the display on both smartbands, and this has a larger display. As you can see, the Huawei Band 6 has a display of 1.47 inches compared to 0.95 inches of the Band 4 Pro. I mean, this allows you to see a little more at a glance, and this comes handy if you are working at outdoors or if you want to just catch a glimpse of what's on the screen outdoors. It is easier with the Huawei Band 6 compared to the Band 4 Pro. And going further, when you talk about navigation, the Huawei Band 6 here comes with a side button, and this is also touchscreen, okay? Meanwhile, the Band 4 Pro here has a touch key at the bottom here, and this is also touchscreen. I kind of prefer the touch key at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I prefer the touch key. I think it's easier to access compared to the side button, but that's just for me. I don't know for you. Perhaps you would like the side button better. So going forward, when we talk about navigation, I like the fact that each of these is very easy to navigate. With the Huawei Band 6, when you swipe right, you can see your favorites. These are my favorite apps, and you can also access this by swiping left. And when you swipe up, you get my notifications. And when you go down, you have my quick panel. Okay, this is the quick panel section. And when you tap on this button again, this will take you to the list of apps. Okay, this is the menu of this apps, the list of apps that are available on the Huawei Band 6. Going with the Band 4 Pro, the navigation is also very easy. When you swipe up, you can see my list of apps, okay? And when you swipe down, you can see my notification. When you swipe to the sides, it also reveals my notifications. And if you want to go back to the previous menu with each of these bands, it's either you press the side button or on the Huawei Band 6, or you press the touch key here on the Band 4 Pro, And as for the Huawei Band 6, you can also swipe right, okay? Anytime you want to go back to the previous menu. It is the same thing with the Band 4 Pro. So guys, let's talk about the watch faces. There are a lot of watch faces available for this too. I like the fact that you can actually change the watch faces directly from the home screen by simply, sorry, this just come up already. Just tapping and holding on to the home screen will allow you to change the watch face of any of these two bands directly. Okay, so I'll just swipe through and I can easily change the watch face of the Band 4 Pro. It's the same way with the Huawei Band 6. You can access more watch faces from the Huawei Health app. Okay, you can store a maximum of 11 watch faces on each of these two smart bands. So going further, let's talk about the fitness tracking features of these two smart bands. Talking about fitness tracking features, each of these two is quite equipped with a lot of fitness tracking features. The Huawei Band 6 here and the Band 4 Pro here will count your steps, track your calories, will also allow you to, will also track your heart rate, and you can also track your sleeps with any of these two smart bands. You also get blood oxygen measurement on both smart bands. So let's talk about steps counting accuracy. When I compared these to the Galaxy Watch 3, each of these was consistent in tracking my steps. In terms of heart rate tracking, again, the Band 6 is not so the Huawei says was not so consistent. At one point, it was consistent when compared to the Galaxy Watch 3 and the Band 4 Pro. At another point, it was not consistent. It was just way off when compared to the Galaxy Watch 3 and Band 4 Pro. When you talk about sleep tracking, it's unfortunate for me to say this, but the truth is I have not had a very decent, a very nice experience with the Huawei Band 6. I've tried to track my sleep with Huawei Band 6, but it always come up awkward. It lagged behind. It was not consistent as far as sleep tracking is concerned. I don't know if this has to do with my skin. I don't know, but the truth of the matter is, this is the Band 4 Pro, and I have been using this since last year. It's over almost a year right now. I've been using the Band 4 Pro, and the Band 4 Pro has always been consistent as far as tracking my sleep is concerned. I mean, for instance, this sleep track records I have here, you can see when you compare this to, I wore this to alongside the Galaxy Watch 3 to sleep, and if you look at the records here, the Band 4 Pro for last night, if you go to sleep, it says I slept for just 1 hour 56 minutes. And if you go with the Band 4 Pro, the Huawei Band 6 here said I slept for 1 hour 56 minutes, and Band 4 Pro said I slept for 4 hours and 48 minutes. With the Galaxy Watch 3, it is 5 hours and 34 minutes. So you can see that this was very close to what the Galaxy Watch 3 tracked compared to what I have with the Huawei Band 6. I also have other records. So as far as sleep tracking is concerned, the Huawei Band 6 is not consistent in tracking my sleep. So let's talk about inbuilt GPS. The biggest difference between the Band 4 Pro and the Huawei Band 6 is that the Band 4 Pro has inbuilt GPS. And with inbuilt GPS, I don't need to carry my phone along if I want to track my outdoor activities. With the Huawei Band 6 here, you will have to carry your phone along if you want to track outdoor activities like your routes, your pace, and all that. And I would say that beyond that, the Huawei Band 6 didn't do well as far as outdoor activity tracking is concerned. This is not anywhere close to a decent outdoor activity tracker. For instance, if you want to start, if you want to track your outdoor run with the Huawei Band 6, you will have to start this workout on your Huawei Health app. The Huawei Health app must be open for you to be able to track your routes and pace, the routes and locations and all that. And I must say that even at that, it was not consistent when compared to the Galaxy Watch 3. But for the Band 4 Pro here, this device, I mean, it has performed above my expectations as far as outdoor activity tracking is concerned. I have compared this to the Versa 3, I have compared this to the Galaxy Watch 3, and I would say that the Band 4 Pro is very consistent as far as outdoor activity tracking is concerned. Let's talk about stress measurement. We talk about stress measurement. This is one feature that you will get with the Huawei Band 6, which the Band 4 Pro lacks. Okay, there is stress measurement on the Huawei Band 6, and this can be enabled from the Huawei Health app. Okay, this will monitor your stress level 24/7, and you can view all the stats here. Okay, and I had to compare this to the Galaxy Watch 3, and I would say it's quite consistent in tracking in monitoring my stress. So that's a good one for the Huawei Band 6. So going forward, each of these two has blood oxygen measurement feature. You have, okay, I'll just go here. Okay, so here we go. This is the SpO2 blood oxygen measurement feature of the Huawei Band 6, and this feature is also available on the Band 4 Pro. So I had to compare this to the Galaxy Watch 3, and I would say that the Band 4 Pro again was consistent in tracking my blood oxygen level. Okay, when compared to the Band 6 here, Band 6 here always come up with this 100% blood oxygen level rating, and for me that is quite suspicious. So I would say this guy here is not consistent as far as tracking your blood oxygen level is concerned. So the Huawei Band 6 feature a whooping 95 workout modes compared to just 13 on the compared to 11 sport modes on the Band 4 Pro. This has a whole bunch of workout activities that you can choose from. Compared to this has just very few. So let's talk about managing your notifications on each of these two smart bands. Each of these two will allow you to manage your SMS, your call, and notifications from both native and third-party apps on your phone. So when you receive a notification, you get a buzz on any of these two smart bands. What I like about the Huawei Band 6 as far as managing notification is concerned is that this allows you to see more characters compared to the Band 4 Pro. Okay, if I want to access my notification, I'll just swipe down. I'll just swipe down, and I'll go to messages. Okay, and let's say for instance I'll go to this. Okay, so this shows very few characters. I think it's about 70 or thereabout. Meanwhile, the Huawei Band 6 here shows a whole bunch of more characters. As you can see, these are my notifications from WhatsApp, Telegram, and what have you. I'll just go to down. I want to check. Okay, let's go with this one. So if you go with this, as you can see, this guy here shows a whole bunch of characters. When I counted this, it was about 135 characters in total. So the Huawei Band 6 here shows more part of a message compared to the Band 4 Pro, and I think that's a very good one for the Huawei Band 6. Unfortunately, each of these two cannot reply notifications. If you want to reply to notifications, perhaps the Galaxy Fit 2 will be a better choice. So guys, let's go further. Talking about other features that you find on each of these two smart band. Each of these two features a timer. Okay, you have the stopwatch, and you have the music control feature. You also have the weather feature and all that. Okay, you can use any of these two to control music on your phone. The Huawei Band 6 has remote camera control, although that feature is not yet available on the device for now. Perhaps it will come in a future update. That is a feature you will not find on the Band 4 Pro. The Huawei Band 6 has a Torchlight feature, which the Huawei Band 4 Pro lacks. This feature might not be so bright, okay, but it has come handy for me in certain situations, especially if you find yourself in a small dark area. You can use this Torchlight feature of the Huawei Band 6 to illuminate that area. The Huawei Band 4 Pro lacks that feature. So guys, let's talk about the battery life. When you talk about battery life, the Huawei Band 6 comes up. This was able to get me up to 2 weeks. Yes, up to 2 weeks of long battery life. That is with brightness reduced to 3. Okay, and a handful of notifications for apps turned on. This guy here was able to get me up to 2 weeks of battery life. When you compare this to the Huawei Band 4 Pro here, the Huawei Band 4 Pro barely gives me 4 days plus. Let me just say 4 days on average. Okay, this has about 4 days battery life compared to about 2 weeks. So if you're talking about long battery life, the Huawei Band 6 outshines the Band 4 Pro completely. So when you talk about the charging type, this use a charging dock. Okay, this is it. Okay, magnetic charging dock. It's also magnetic here. I think I find it easier to charge the Huawei Band 6 compared to the Band 4 Pro, and this here has fast charging. This takes less than an hour to fully charge. With the Band 4 Pro is an hour plus for it to be fully charged. So overall, which is a better smart band between the Huawei Band 6 and Band 4 Pro? In my honest opinion, the Band 4 Pro here is a more comprehensive fitness tracker. The Band 4 Pro has inbuilt GPS, which the Huawei Band 6 lacks. And not just that, the Huawei Band 6 connected GPS feature is very awkward. The Band 4 Pro again is consistent in tracking my sleep. It is consistent in tracking my heart rate. I mean, this is one hell of a very well-designed smart band. I have been using the Band 4 Pro for over a year right now, and I don't want to do away with it. It is my favorite smart band. Yes, of course, the Huawei Band 4 Pro for me is better than the Huawei Band 6. But I am not writing off the Huawei Band 6 completely. The Huawei Band 6 has a larger display that allows you to see more at a glance. The Huawei Band 6 also has a far longer battery life than the Band 4 Pro. You can get up to 2 weeks with this smart band, and in terms of design, I mean, it looks so awesome, right? But what I am not really happy about is the fact that in terms of sleep tracking, this smart band has not been consistent. And when it comes to the connected GPS feature, have had a very awkward experience with it. And when you talk about heart rate tracking, I will not say it is so consistent. I mean, it is at one point accurate when compared to the other fitness trackers. At another point, it is just way off. However, the Huawei Band 6 is a fine smart band. Of course, it is very cheap. So guys, that's it for this video. If you find this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, click on the subscribe button. Until next time, goodbye.